But I'm going to invite two other people now who feature in the book a great deal. You know, if you look upon it as a blockbuster movie, there's always a wife, and there's always the doting elder brother. The elder brother can do no wrong in the movies, right? And I think in this story, the elder brother can do no wrong as well. And I think as you read the book, the person who comes out really strongly, solid behind the scenes, but there at all times, is Ajit Tendulkar. How many hours have both of you spent talking batting?
Well, even after my last innings, we spent talking about how I got out and those kind of things. But, you know, over the years, we've discussed more and more, I would say.
There was another support as well. She's wearing a little orange top when she first saw this 17-year-old. 17, huh? 17-year-old. Just imagine, what were you doing when you were 17? And she saw this guy, and 17-year-old at an airport, and said, right, that's the man. Anjali? What were you doing going after a 17-year-old?
First, let me say one thing. Sachin often tells me, you know, just once I want to put you in the middle of a cricket field with, you know, thousands of people around screaming and get somebody to bowl fast at you, you know. For me, this is equivalent to that, this level of stress, talking in front of everyone. And you asked me about...
17. I mean, there you are, he's a 17-year-old kid.
Okay, I didn't know he was 17 or what.
He looked 12.
I didn't even know who he was.
You didn't know who he was?
I didn't know. My friend is here, Aparna. She was with me when I went.
And she said, shh, Sachin.
No, she told me, don't you know this is the wonder boy of Indian cricket? And
wonder boy?
He's just scored 100, youngest Indian to score 100. I didn't care what he was, who he was. I had no interest in cricket. I saw him. I thought he was really cute.
I didn't have any interest in medicine either.
And I ran after him.
And you ran after him. Did you just say that? Did I just hear you say that?
We were in those days at the airport. There was a viewing gallery, so I was actually looking for my mum, who was supposed to have landed from England.
Oh, you planned it that way?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I just saw him and I told Aparna, who's this guy? He's so cute. And then I forgot about my mother. We ran down and I ran after him like screaming, Sachin, Sachin. Yeah, he's so cute.
You forgot about your mother. She's sitting there. Did she forget about you?
And the funny thing is, Ajit and Nitin were there with him, and Sachin was so embarrassed that this girl is, you know, running after me and screaming my name. So he was only looking down. He didn't even look at me. He like quietly looked down and got into the car.
The only thing I looked was the color of a t-shirt.
Which was orange.
Which he remembered when I met him for the first time.
And I thought you were going to wear orange today. And then you picked up the phone and called him.
Well, now I was studying medicine. I was in my final year, so I go to college the next day, and by then I had been told he's a cricketer. And my friend Mufi, he was studying medicine with me, but he also used to play cricket. I caught him. I said, Mufi, you have to do one thing for me in this. You have to get me this Sachin Tendulkar's number. So his cousin was their mother. He got me the number, and see, this is what I say is destiny. I called Sachin, and Sachin never used to pick up the phone. In those days there were no mobiles, nothing. But that day he picked up the phone. And I said, hi, my name is Anjali, you don't know who I am, I saw you at the airport yesterday and all. He said, yeah, I remember, I saw you. I said, what was I wearing? He said, yeah, you were wearing an orange t-shirt. So then I know that, yes, he had noticed
you know,
me.
I said orange t-shirt.
So that's, you know, destiny.
And do you know who was most hassled by all this? Was still a fairly young man who wanted Sachin Tendulkar to become the best cricketer in the world. And there was this woman. When you first took him to Ramakant Achrekar, and Ramakant Achrekar said, bring him back later. You took him back again. Was it just love? My brother, please take a look at my brother? Or did you think that time, you say, Kaitari Ahe special?
Of course, that's correct first. Because before taking him to, I had watched him in the society where he used to play in the playground. And I was convinced of that. And that's the reason I took him to Achrekar sir. at that age, it's very little to decide, what the talent is, because you don't look at it from technical point of view or something. But I think bowler is always posing a question to you, and you have to answer. Batsman has to have answer. And Sachin always had answer for every question posed to him.
What I found interesting was he went to the coach and said, just pretend that you are not looking because he's under stress if you watch him bat.
Yeah, obviously, because he was used to not being watched by anyone, except I used to watch him from the my balcony and not directly. So I knew that he could be under a lot of pressure. Everything was new to him. He wasn't even having his own pads or bat or gloves. I think bat he was using was a tennis ball, tennis cricket bat.
You had a little Kashmir willow bat.
My sister had gone to Kashmir, and she had brought me one TSC bat. I still remember a tennis ball bat. So I used that for quite some time, and then.
Tell me, what's your side of the story? Did you know that he had quietly told the coach, pretend not to watch so that he feels relieved?
No, I had no idea. I absolutely had no clue. I was just told that get in the nets again, bat the way you like, feel free to do whatever you want. But I had no idea that he had gone and he had requested Achrekar sir that, please give him another chance, and this time you don't stand behind the net.
Because he had never played with the hard ball, and in the compound he was used to play the aerial shot because it was safer to do that. Because there are a lot of trees around and then you don't get caught. So he tried doing that there, but it took some time basically.
What I find fascinating about this story, and it's mentioned in the book as you go along, that Ajit Tendulkar was a club cricketer. A lot of us are club cricketers, and having been one, I know how much you know as a club cricketer. And yet here was a club cricketer advising the world's finest batsman on how to bat. I mean,
at that time he wasn't finest.
On page 165, Ajit, you're back again.
Oh yeah, at least I scored 100.
You didn't allow him to eat something. He just wanted to have duck. He likes duck and you didn't let him eat.
Oh, this was before the World Cup, 99 World Cup. I happened to be in Brighton there. And I had read some time back that there were some 3 English players who had gone to a restaurant and ordered duck. And next day, I think all 3 got out on 0.
So that was the reason I was not allowed to have duck. You can't have duck.
It was playing on my mind, and I was suggesting all different types of dishes. Like go for this, why not go for this? This must be more tasty, but it just didn't happen. But fortunately, he did not get out on 0. Scored some 30 odd runs. So.
But he didn't get out on 0 because he didn't eat the duck.
Whole meal was planned around aromatic duck. I thought, let's go for Chinese and have this aromatic duck and all that. And I go to order duck, and he says, no duck tonight. So.
Food is a recurrent motive in this family, right? It's all about food in this family. Tell us, you also write in the book about going to the same restaurant in Sydney every day and eating the same food every day. Order the same things at the same table, and you thought that it was his great batting skill that got all the runs.
Yes, I did that. In fact, Ajit Agarkar is sitting right here in front of me. And
I have seen the two of you once
Ajit
demolish a plate of crabs.
There, because I was batting, first day I was batting 55 or 60 something. I said, I'm batting well and everything has gone well. I'm not going to change anything. So I went for a nice meal. I said, let's go out so I don't stay in the room. So my mind is not constantly thinking about how I'm going to bat tomorrow, because I needed to switch off a little bit, back off a little bit. So we went for a nice Malaysian meal. And beautiful, delicious curry and fried rice and all sorts of things came on the table and all that. Next day I was batting 160
Plenty.
or something like that. So I said, Ajit, we are not deciding where we have to go. We are going for Malaysian. We are not going anywhere else. So the second evening also we ended up going there. And I was again, batting. I scored 241 whatever. I said, but second innings I still have to bat. So let's go there. We ended up going 3 times, and then the last time, actually, the waiter just looked at us. He said, I know what to get, don't worry.